Hey YouTube, this is NuggetsHoopster here, bringing you guys a deck profile for the day. Today I'm going to be showing my Frog FTK deck that I've been playing around with a little bit. I played it at locals, let's see, what was that, Tuesday? Today's Friday, so I played that on Tuesday. And I didn't get second, went 3-0, and then I played Mike, pretty good friend of mine. He was playing Black Wings, and Game 3, I had all my frogs in the graveyard. Like, I did the Substitoad, should be no monster, sent all my frogs. And I was pretty much waiting for the Mass Driver. And then he went cards for Black Feathers, and he drew Double DD Crow. And then he played both his Crows, and then he dropped Dark Arm. So pretty much at that point, I realized that, like, it really wasn't the Dark Arm that screwed me over. Excuse me, it wasn't the Crow that screwed me over, it was really the Dark Arm. Because what I did was off Substitoad as the last monster I brought out a Dupe Frog and a Dupe Frog. And Dupe Frog was killing it because he couldn't get over the 1900 at the time. And then he crowed both my Ronintoadin, so I couldn't Mass Driver. And then he died, and that was the one that really saved it for him, because otherwise I would have just kept killing him with the Dupe Frog and probably eventually would have won. And then I could have done some synchroing there with this guy. So yeah, that was just an unfortunate turn of events, but I learned a lot about the deck when I played it, and I made some changes with the main and side that I think are important. So, here we go. We got 3 Substitoad, 3 Swap Frog, and 2 Ronintoadins. These are pretty much the key to the deck right here. 3 Poison Draw, 3 Unifrog, 3 Dupe, 2 Treeborn, 2 Flip Flop, 2 Des, 2 Submarine, 1 Beezle, 1 Fishborg Blaster, and then 3 Moray, 3 Mass Drivers, 2 Instructions, 2 Salvage, 1 for 1, Card Destruction, Heavy, and Trunade. So pretty much the idea of the deck is that you want to get out a monster on your side of the field without using up your normal summon. So the most common ways to do that, preferably the way to do it, is to have Swap Frog turn 1, so you don't have to wait a turn for Treeborn to come back. But if you have to wait a turn, then the best way is to do Treeborn, because then you don't have to discard a card to special summon him. So, yeah, so pretty much the best way to do it is to, like, discard a water for him, send a Ronintoadin or send a Fishborg, normal summon Substitoad, and then his effect is you contribute a monster you control to summon a frog monster from your deck. And it's not a once per turn thing. So pretty much what you do is you go through all your frogs off of that, and then each time you summon one of these guys, you either send a Ronintoadin or a Fishborg Blaster, depending on the ones that you've sent. Because those are the only monsters in the deck that aren't frogs besides Substitoad. And these are both important because if they have 1 DD Crow, you can just choose the other one. This one's important because it can get frogs out of your hand, because he lets you discard a card if you have a, I think it's like 3-star lower water monster. Let's see. Yeah, if you have face up 3-star lower water monster, you discard a card to special summon him, and he's a tuner, which is sometimes important, and I'll get into that a little bit later. But pretty much the point is it's just like if you have a bunch of frogs in your hand, you can just ditch them, and then you can just go off with the Ronintoad Master everything. So yeah, so that's Substitoad. And Swap Frog, I already said you can discard a water monster, special summon him. And then when he's summoned, he has the effect of a he has effect of an Armageddon Knight, but it's for water monsters. So it lets you send any let's see, what is it? Is it 3-star? Lets you send a 2-star or lower Aqua type monster from your deck to the grave. So that's pretty much everything in here, except for Fishborg, which I didn't even realize that. So I guess you can't actually send Fishborg. Well, that's unfortunate. So I guess you can't send Fishborg off this guy. So that's good to know. That's weird. And then his other effect is that you can bounce back any monster on your side of the field back to your hand, and then you have the option to normal summon another frog monster after that, in addition to your normal summon or special summon that turn. So like you could bounce him back to your hand, and then you could normal summon like a Poison Draw Frog if you wanted to, or you could normal summon. Play that I like to do is bounce him, normal summon Flip Frog, and then activate his effect to turn him face down, because that's really good. So yeah, that's it about that guy. And then let's see. Now we're gonna talk about Poison Draw Frog. Poison Draw Frog is really important because if your hand's just really utter shit, then you can just summon him and then if they attack it, then you just get to draw a card. So it really helps getting through the deck. And then Unifrog is really good because he can attack directly whenever he wants to. And then if you have a frog face up on your side of the field, so for example, if you brought back Treeborn, then you could normal summon Unifrog, attack directly, and then what he does is then he lets you just blow up a spell trap card on your opponent's side of the field. So that's really important too for clearing cards away like MST or Dust Tornado or like, I don't know, just cards like that that would mess up your OTK. So he's really good. Dupe Frog's really good because he's a monster that you're going to drop most often right at the end of Substitoad. Because you go through all your frogs and you tribute the last frog off Substitoad for dupe, and then Substitoad tribute himself, go for another dupe, and then because of their effects, then they can't attack because they say that you have to attack it. But then there's two of them out, so then you can't attack. It's like a Command Knight. Wait, is it Command Knight or it's either Command Knight or Marauding Captain? That's like that where if there's like two of them out, then you can't attack. So I already talked about Treeborn. He's really good. Obviously, he's like the best frog out there, just in general. Flip-flop's really good. When he's flipped face up, you return a number of monsters your opponent has equal to the number of frogs you have. So it can clear synchros or it can just like pretty much clear the field in general. Death Frog is really important to the deck because he's 1900, which a lot of people just say, oh, you can just bottom him. Well, not really, because the only way you're going to summon him is usually off Substitoad. Although I have tributed him off of like if I bring back Treeborn and tribute for him, like I do that sometimes. But off Substitoad, if you summon them out and they try to bottomless, I think you just say I call priority on Substitoad and then you tribute the Death Frog. So it's pretty much like summoning Dark Art and calling priority before they come bottomless. But anyway, the reason why I like him so much is because he can let you do some cool tuning stuff because he's 5 stars. Then you have the Fishborg Blaster, which is really important because like you could have either a frog or a dupe frog or that out. And then you can like go 5, 7, 8, or 5, 6, 7. And I actually love to go to Black Rose like a lot in this deck because it's just really nice to be able to blow up the field and leave them with not many cards. Because like most people when they're playing against this deck, they really like to commit like tons to the field. So if you can blow up cards just like that, and it's just good, 2 Submarine. I've been debating about whether I want to excuse me early whether I want to run 2 Submarine or whether I want to run 1 Submarine and 3 Flip-Flop, because Flip-Flop is kind of better. But the reason why I like Submarine more is because he has more of a body. Like he's 1200, which isn't much, but then Flip-Flop's only 500. Also, he has Trample. So in the quick draw matchup, he's kind of good because if you can get them to Solemn something, then you can summon him and start piercing. Then you can like win in like a really weird way. So I like him for that reason. Then we got Beezle Frog. I run the 1 Beezle Frog because he's 3 stars. That's pretty much the only reason why I run him, because it lets you synchro to like bigger things, I guess. Because like you could go Death Frog, Beezle, and then Fishborg, and then synchro into Mistworm, which would be crazy. Or even soon you can go into Trishula, which would be even cooler. But yeah. So anyway, now onto the spells. We got 3 Moray of Greed. It's like a respite, but for water monsters. It's a really good support card for water monsters in general, and it fits in this deck because it just helps you pretty much like get a new hand, kinda, if you draw a lot of monsters, because it doesn't really thin your deck because you're putting back 2 and you're drawing 3. So I guess it does thin your deck like 1 card, but it doesn't really thin it like Destiny Draw would or something like that. So we got Mass Driver, the most important card to the deck. The idea is that you get enough frogs in the grave that you can remove for Ronintoadin 20 times, and then 20 times 4 is 8,000. So that's really good. But then usually, because you have Substitoad and another monster out, you're just going to do about 8,800. Or in this particular build, I run 21 frogs just because I want to make sure that I have enough, even if they somehow clear my board. So yeah, then we got 2 hand destruction. Really important. Meal through the deck. Salvage, also really important. The combos with Moray, combos with hand destruction, and combos with getting Substitoad, because you can summon Swap Frog, send this asshole, and then you can salvage him back, which is good, like in case you don't have him. Then 1-for-1's really good, obviously, because you can summon out Substitoad. Or Fishborg Blaster if you already have Substitoad. That's really good. Card Destruction is really good, obviously. Then I like running Heavy and Trunade. Some people don't even run anything, and I really like both. Just because when you're down to top decking, you really want to draw like back row destruction before you play your mass driver. So those are really good, I think. So anyway, guys, that's the deck. I made this video a little long. I apologize for that. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm gonna leave a deck list in the sidebar, and that's it, guys.